Okay, this is take two. Second try. Intro starting video. Hello, I am Mr. Decker. I probably should turn my light off. Whatever. Um, I started this YouTube channel to see where it'll go, if it goes anywhere. Reach for the stars. Or something like that. That was better in my head. Because, reach for the stars, blah, blah, blah. Evil, blah, 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 blah. Pokemon, blah, blah, blah. Jesse James Meowth, that's right, blah, blah, blah. Blasting off again. I may or may not keep that. Well, we'll figure it out. Whatever. Uh, this is my welcome video. So welcome. I'm hilarious. Don't forget that. So topics and a little bit about myself. I'm using a script. Can't see it because my camera and the light. But I'm using a script, which I'm just kind of following along. Keep myself. So, one, politics. Well, I'm a conservative, but I'm not Republican. I do vote a lot for them, but you kind of got to vote for the people who share enough of my values or try to appear to share those values. So, I don't really vote Democrat. The people who apparently hate me because some of the things I think is kind of odd. Anyways, I listen to politically. People I listen to Glenn Beck. He's great. Bit of a doomsday predictionist, but it's interesting. Changed some things. I want to say I tried to get a little more active into life because of it. Listening to political stuff because of what he says is concerning. It's like, okay, I want to listen and at least know what is being said that is happening, that they're trying to change and make my life miserable, which so far, Biden being president has had my life be miserable or helped it be miserable. I'm not exactly miserable, just he's made a lot of decisions that make everything more expensive. And yeah, expensive is bad. I'd rather not be paying as much as I am for gas. My money could be used elsewhere, like food or fun things. But no, I'm using it for gas. And all I do is drive from home to work. And occasionally a couple other things like church. But I go very far and it's expensive. Yeah, so complaint, gas prices, price of everything. It's expensive. I don't like it. Uh, Actually, I hadn't gone to Taco Bell or McDonald's for a while. Those are my favorite fast food places. And last month, no, December, was the first time I went, and I'm like, holy crap, these prices jumped $3 from the last time I remember. Like, that's more than I thought. Shoot. So, don't really like what he's doing. Anyways, the other thing I listen to politically is called The News and Why It Matters, TV show, or it's got a podcast. It's on YouTube, but it's also on Blaze TV, which is Glenn Beck's channel of conservative voices, I guess. It's just like $70. Oh, I don't know how much it is. Don't pay attention. There's a subscription for a year thing. Check that out if you want. Whatever. It's got a bunch of different shows. It's not just Glenn Beck on it. It's The News and Why It Matters. It's got a show called Stu Does America. It's pretty funny. He tries to be funny. Says things like conservative. Conservators unite. Something like that. And Chad Prather and some other people. I don't know if you recognize any of these names. But the News and Why It Matters has a host, and then sitting around the table is 2 to 3 other people. And some of them are YouTube people, and some of them are Blaze TV contributors, and like sometimes you have the chief researcher for the Glenn Beck program, and other people. Um, and sometimes it's just a brand new person. It's like, oh, who the heck are you? But they talk about current issues of the day, or sometimes of the week, or sometimes of the weekend because they run Monday through Friday. I think their show shows up about like 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. But not 100% on that. The News and Why It Matters. Good show. At least I think so. So that's where I get my information for political stuff. Political videos by me will probably involve those 2 sources, and potentially others. We'll see. I'm not sure what I'm going to do exactly for political stuff because I understand that political things are sometimes frowned upon in YouTube at starting out. So if I try and like post things that they frown upon and they kill me or kick me, whatever the term is for YouTube deciding no. Well, that's not gonna get me very far. I'm just starting and I got like 10 viewers and suddenly they're like, no, you're not allowed to post stuff. It's like, oh, I don't have people. I don't have people or resources to back me up. Okay. Second topic. Religion. Okay. Very important. I belong to the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Now, not all of you are going to know who the hell those are. Those people are. Commonly referred to as the Mormons. Yeah, commonly referred to as the Mormons. Oh, no, that's wrong. Commonly referred to as LDS, by members and non-members alike, by the way. And those Mormon people. That's funny. I try to be funny. I'm a crackpot. I'm hilarious. Because who doesn't enjoy shortening that name, you know? But I won't be using that. I prefer the long name. Yeah, I love the name of the church. It tells you exactly what we're about. Break it down. The church. Well, it tells you we're a church. We are definitely a church organization of Jesus Christ. Well, we believe in Jesus Christ, and we follow his teachings. Or we do our best. We're following his teachings, which involves doing your best to follow his teachings. It's part of his teachings. Interesting, isn't it? Of latter day, well, we believe that these are the latter days, when the second coming of Jesus Christ draws close, which is kind of relative because soon or draws close is kind of to us that I don't know, somewhere between a couple hours to maybe a couple days, right? But that's not the same time frame that God exists on. So draws close is kind of difficult to translate for us, I think. Time is relative. Is that what this is? And saints. We believe that we have entered into the Christian covenant by baptism. So, Christian covenant. Most Christian churches believe that they've entered into the Christian covenant by baptism. The denomination doesn't really matter in that. So, yeah, that's what we believe in that. So, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Topic 3. Okay. Programming / developer stuff. So I'm a little frustrated with this one, but hey, why not? I've been programming off and on since high school. mostly off in high school and then more off and on in college and back off after college and trying to get into it. And so more on lately, but actually the last couple of weeks I've been off because I just haven't felt like doing stuff. Oh man, my last job I really didn't like it, and it was kind of bringing me as a whole down. I didn't like it for not because I didn't like the job or had terrible coworkers or my boss is bad, but because mm, I lost my Saturdays and they made me wear a mask at work. And the masks actually are detrimental to my health. And I can kind of prove it, kind of. I mean, right now it's more like my word against whoever says they're good for you. But yeah, maybe more, maybe not more on that later. But now I have a new job that doesn't require a mask. It's pretty similar to the old job, just a couple different changes in some of the things and smaller team, and I don't have to wear a mask, which I am very happy about. I hate wearing those things. Absolutely terrible. I have asthma, so it makes it worse. Um, anyways, so I have a good understanding of object-oriented programming, of basics, and a little bit more than the basic, I hope. Like, I think I'm somewhere between beginning, intermediate programmer level. Um, and I have specific knowledge of the Java, C++, and Python languages, as for object-oriented languages. And then I also have made some websites using, well, Java is used both for making web-based applications and desktop-based applications. So I've used Java for both. And then HTML, React, and PHP. React is a HTML JavaScript framework that changes a little bit of things and allows a couple different effects. It changes how HTML and JavaScript react. I also know React to the web browser. Um, well, speaking of that, I didn't write it down, but CSS is part of HTML, React, and so I've used that as well. And then I have some knowledge of databases, MySQL and MongoDB databases. So, despite all this knowledge, here's why I'm frustrated with this topic. Oh, I went the wrong direction in my notes. Yep, no. Uh, well, despite all this knowledge, I don't have any degrees or certificates that would help me actually find a job as a programmer or developer. So the frustration, it really is the fact that I've been doing this off and on for 12 years. And I haven't been able to find a job in the field because I don't have anything that proves I know what I'm doing or I have enough understanding to quickly learn what I'm doing once I have that job. I kind of, as a person, have a harder time with, how do I say this? I have a harder time with doing things on my own. I kind of need a focus. So if I'm going to learn how to make certain things, certain component of a website, I need to have a reason to make it. I can't just be like, I want to make that and do it. And I don't quite work that way. I'm trying to figure out how I could possibly change, but so far I haven't figured that out yet. Um, so doing things just for the sake of doing them is kind of hard. Hence my introduction statement of I'm trying to see if this will go anywhere. Because I'm not just doing it to do it. I want to see if it goes anywhere. I want to see if something happens. If I can make something happen. Whatever. Um, so I have lots of experience as a warehouse worker. That's kind of why that is what I do right now. And so I have experience with it. So that's what I'm doing. Not happy about it, but it is work. I need pay. I need a job. I need life. I need income. I'd be a lazy bum without a job. Well, maybe not so much a bum, but definitely laziness would go from about here to wee and where I wanted down here. But I haven't. And I'm like, can't lower it from here down to here. But if I had no job, it'd be way up here. Laziness. Um, D&D. Four. Fourth topic. D&D. I play a lot of it. Not planning on recording any of those for now and posting it. But I could show and tell about my homebrew system and the worlds I created, complete with world maps and background information on them. I play, not the DM. Well, I play Tuesday nights, Saturday nights, Sunday mornings before church, and Sunday afternoons after church. Now, Tuesday, Saturday, Sunday morning are with the same group mostly. I mean, there's one person who stops for one game. He's not there. And then there's also one game where there's an additional person who's not there for any of the other games. So a little bit of same group. And then the Sunday afternoons is a completely separate group, which the other games I meet online using my laptop, Discord, and Roll20. That's our main method. And then the Sunday afternoon one is in person. The Sunday afternoon, so I play as a character in Tuesday and Sunday morning, and then Sunday afternoon and Saturdays I'm running. So I'm running a Saturday campaign based off of Legend of Zelda, loosely based off Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, because while the storyline is great and I love the world and Zelda's my favorite video game series, um, two towns, uh, two towns, a castle, and just a bunch of dungeons doesn't really make a good D&D game unless you're not doing storyline at all. But that's not what we're doing. We're trying to make a storyline. So it's loosely based on it, and it becomes more loosely based on it as time goes. But I'm not currently running it, and it's the thing. I already did the homebrew system, background information. So recently, I've also found myself enjoying watching stuff from Crap Guide to D&D and via the Dirt League. I don't think I have that second name right. And part of the podcast, D&D podcast. My Saturday afternoon is I'm not running it. We actually go back and forth every other week. Should be me running a game and then them running a game. They're running a 5th edition game, and he's the one doing the podcast, and he wants to run it and podcast, I think, every other week. What I suggested was, since we're going to run every other week, in case scheduling conflicts come up with us and we're not able to play because someone got sick or something, I'd say run every other week, post once a month, and that if something happens and we're not able to run for two sessions in a row, we'll still have something to post, right? Because part of the podcast, part of YouTube is making sure that you have consistent content. So if it's once a month, it might take a little longer to get people to follow or listen, but if you make sure it's consistent before you have fans, once you have fans, you can be a little more inconsistent. At least that's my thought process. The Hopefully we'll start soon. We had some equipment issues. We have to buy a new computer. The person who's buying the computer decided he wanted his computer to also be his new gaming computer, so he decided to buy a really expensive computer, which we have to wait for him to get his finances to the point where he could buy it, and then it's ordered, so we have to wait for it to arrive. And in the meantime, we're going to be running, hopefully getting used to playing our characters a little bit and being more, what do we say, get used to running our characters a little bit and get a little bit more experience with his world and how he is, or how he's going to be as DM, because he's new. Like, I am the most experienced player there by years. The name of the podcast is going to be the insert S word here, podcast you've ever heard. You have ever heard. I don't cuss, so it's important to note that the actual S word is in the name of the podcast. He also wants to call it TS D&D, which hopefully that also you'll be able to also reach the same podcast that way. But I'm not dealing with that. I'm not part of that production team. It's just him. It's a team of one. So we'll see how that goes. Um, oh, go right. Okay, topic five. Topic five. Video games. So I play a lot of video games. Haven't recently. I don't know what's up with that, but mostly with just my friends, my online friends, the same people I play D&D with Tuesday, Saturday night, Sunday morning. Play video games when we're not playing D&D or talk about D&D or just talking. But we play a lot of video games. Favorite video game series. Already mentioned it. Legend of Zelda. Zelda. Um, however, my favorite genre is actually strategy games. I love me some strategy games. Red Alert 2, great game. Red Alert Command and Conquer, great series. Sad it's dead. Westwood Studios is dead, I believe, as a company. But Command and Conquer was awesome. Love the Red Alert series. It's great. Those are real-time strategy games. So they kind of respawn real time. Uh, Turn-based is great too. I love it. I love it. It doesn't matter if I'm playing real time or if I'm playing turn-based. I love it all. Strategy is spectacular. It's a game. I'm not necessarily the best at it in my group, even in my group of 5 people. But I mean, they come with crazy ideas, and I'm kind of like a build from the ground up kind of person who doesn't. And we have a game where we play where you kind of have tech trees, or not tech trees, tech levels. You have level one you start at, and then it costs research to get to tech. No, not research. There's 3 building trees. There's 3 buildings. You have Army, Navy, Air Force, right? And the building, when you build it, it starts at level one, and you have your commander, who's a build unit, and he can build level one stuff, and that factory can build level one of its type, but it also all of them are able to build engineers, and basically you can tell the building to upgrade to level two, and a level two engineer can build level two tech buildings, and a level three engineer can build level three ones, and then each faction has its own version of experimentals, which is interesting and expensive. um, but I like want to build all the level one stuff and then build and then upgrade and then build all the level two stuff, and that's not the best strategy when you're playing with other players who want to go fast, and you end up losing that way. They do take pity on me because I'm usually like, these guys have been playing these strategy games for a long time, and they're like, Mr. Dagger, come join us. Um, the only type of game I'm not very fond of, video game wise, is paying to win. I don't like to pay to win. I like to play to win. Not pay, play. So, subscription based games, phone games where you're like, ooh, get a boost, get XP faster, buy this rare item in the game. Yeah, it's not worth it. Not to me, at least. Um, that being said, if I was to create a video game, probably not, but it is possible I might create one that requires a subscription to get the best content. Just because if I did build a game and it went somewhere, I would probably be the only person on that team. So, yeah, I don't exactly want to be the only person on the team. So, if people just buy the game and that's it, is less likely that I'll want to maintain such a game. So, subscription makes it easier to want to maintain a game. Not necessarily that it will be well maintained, of course. It's all up to you as the person paying for it, whether or not you think it's worth it. Obviously. Don't go with the crowd. Trust your own instincts, and then second guess them, and then trust them again. Because this world is confusing. Anyways, 6 went to his other hand. This is where I end. The second hand. Not really a topic. Um, Random things. Like if you have an idea for something you want to see me post, or something that I randomly come up with that doesn't fit any of those topics, that's where it'll be in channel 6 or section 6 or however it works. I'm not, this is the first video, so I don't know exactly how it works yet. And I don't want to research it for mind-numbing research reasons. I don't want to go through the mind-numbing research of figuring it out. I'd rather figure it out as I go, which is kind of my style, which kind of sucks somewhat, but it's actually makes it where I'm a lot better at just kind of jumping in and learning instead of jumping in and be like, what the hell, and feeling overwhelmed, and jump in and like, okay, so okay. Oh, that's how that works. And I tend to do it a lot faster than other people because I have the practice and I'm not really one to ask for help understanding things until I've looked at it for a while and was, yeah, I'm not going to understand this on my own. Part of that comes from feeling like there was no one ever to ask growing up, um, and stuff like that. Not that it's just growing up, but in jobs and stuff. Like I don't want to ask. I don't want to feel like I don't know things when I should know them, and other such potentially nonsense reasons. So yeah, there will be a section hopefully that I'll be able to, like, I might just post a video that's like 5 seconds of give me your ideas, and then I'll read the comments for ideas, and then we'll see. Um, so I mean, like one of the random ideas, I have a friend who told me he and another friend went to a supposedly haunted place and recorded it. And like, well, they would like to post that, but they would also like to edit it, but they don't know editing software. And I was like, well, I could always take a look. And then that's how I found out that Windows 10 by default has editing software in it through the photo app, which is interesting. I haven't actually used it yet, but I might have used it by the time I actually post this video or the first video, whatever the first video is. By the way, this is my room. There's my TV that I never use. I have several pictures. Religious picture. This is a picture of the temple. It's a picture of, in the frame, the picture that is the sun. That's the default, came with it. One of those default ones. Bought the frame. Didn't fit the picture I bought it for. Kept the frame. Of course, I bought the frame like several years ago, and just it was sitting in storage. And I was like, you know what? I have a picture that'll fit that frame, and then it didn't fit the frame, so I just hung it up anyways. This other picture is Jesus through water, like he's holding his hand down, like he's gonna reach in and grab you out of the water. Kind of, I think it was Paul, maybe it was Peter, scene of the boat where he's walking out in the middle of a storm and on the water, and the disciples are in a boat and they freak out, and he's like, "Peace, it's just me, your Lord and Savior." And it was either Peter or Paul. Oh, I think it was Peter because Paul didn't join the disciples until after the crucifixion, so it must have been Peter. Um, Anyways, it's like, bid me come out, if thou wilt bid me come out onto the water with you. It's like, okay. Jesus pretty much essentially, okay. And he goes and he's looking at Jesus, he's focused on Jesus, and he's walking on the water. And then he gets distracted. What's the storm? I think it makes sense that he would look down because that's when people freak out, right? At that like, extreme heights, when they look down, like, holy crap, that's a long fall, and they freeze and they can't do anything, right? That makes sense. That he didn't just look to the side, or look up, or look around. He probably looked down, like, holy crap. Um, and so he starts sinking, and he screams out or yells out, however it is, and Jesus save him. And Jesus reaches down and pulls him up back on top of the water. He also kind of rebukes him, "Oh, ye of little faith," something like that. Um, you know, through Christ, all things are possible. It's kind of a story about don't take your eyes off Christ. Christ is the Savior. Christ is the Lord. These other things don't matter as much as you think they do. You're safe from the storm as long as you're looking at Jesus Christ. And you can do the things that you consider impossible, that others consider impossible, if you're looking at Jesus Christ. If you're following, trying to be his disciple, trying to follow him. And so that's one. There's another one. And on the other side of this, is Jesus walking by himself. Got a moon picture right where his head is, and it's got waves and stuff. And it's just another one. It's my favorite. One of my favorite. I think that might actually be my favorite Bible scene. My favorite scripture is can't remember exactly where it is. It is in the New Testament of the Bible. It's pure religion and undefiled before God is this, to visit the sick and the fatherless. Um, yeah, I terrible memorizing scripture, and obviously not the story or the meaning. Um, so yeah, videos, topics, a little bit about me, Mr. Decker. Um, Till next time, enjoy yourself. Sayonara.